West Wickham churchyard. Right near Dashwood Mausoleum, where the Hellfire Caves are.
The Church of St. Lawrence is literally perched upon a hill of some considerable dimensions, 300 feet directly above the dank cave depths of the Hellfire Club's inner temple of sinful depravity. Indeed, the church boasts a golden ball of heavenly observation, rising up into the blue skies in a direct, no-nonsense contrast to the creation of the ember-glowing hell directly below.
So this is the church, which is got this tower on top of it. St. Lawrence Church, this is.
While there are many stories and legends often mixed and muddled about the Hellfire Clubs in and around London, this one in these West Wickham Caves had a special twinning with a nearby 12th century Cistercian abbey, Medmenham Abbey, under the leadership of Sir Francis Dashwood, 1708 to 1781. So, before the caves became the Hellfire Club's preferred den of depravity, these so-called eminent men would meet at Medmenham Abbey, a little over 6 miles outside of West Wickham, on the banks of the River Thames, to ensure they lived up to a certain club motto, Faites que voudras, translated as do as you please. This set the scene for rumours of torrid tales of drinking, womanising and devil worship, with Sir Francis acted as a perverse prior of the abbey, where in their worship of Satan, Sir Francis was known to administer the sacrament to his tame baboon. The Times newspaper put it succinctly, describing the club as representing, and I quote, a coterie of profane wits and politicians, who made a mockery of monastic rites at Medmenham to cloak their sins.
So that is the mausoleum on the hill above the Hellfire Caves. Not sure if I'll get into there. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Lord Dashwood, I believe. That's what's written on here. Edmund Hammer Johnson died at 1864, aged 35 years, is it? Wow, that's young. So yeah, Hellfire Caves, I think pretty much everyone knows about. You know, Lord Dashwood set it up to start a club, really, wasn't it? Some say had satanic leanings, but I think it was just more of a orgy fest, really, back in the day, for the who's who of society, you know.
Sir Francis situated his inner temple in the caves across a river. He called it the River Styx. Those worthy enough to go over the River Styx would get into his inner sanctum, the temple, which is directly below the church at the deepest point, symbolising heaven and Hades, a direct mockery of the church's role as it sat above their sinful reveries, the congregation worshipping Christ on high, while down below they were revering the devil.
Okay, let's crack on. That was a bit pub, mate. Yep. Loving memory of those who fell in World War II, 1939 to 1945. I could have swore I saw some. Okay, so who's to know what Lord Dashwood and the gang conjured up, or tried to conjure up. Let's have a look here. Must have been a gate here at some point. Well, pretty impressive building. It's pretty impressive.
Sir Francis had managed to do what no other man had ever done. He had designed and built his own heaven and hell, one directly above the other, as it was meant to be.
Lights. That's just lights to light up at night. Stay a while, reminisce, take in a view, listen to nature all around.
The mausoleum is an unroofed hexagonal structure formed by a series of linked triumphal arches. There is no obvious precedent for such a design, save perhaps that of a Scottish lair or sepulchral enclosure. In the centre stands a pedestal and urn dedicated to Dashwood's wife, Lady Le Despencer, 1769. A wall plaque commemorates his mother, 1710, and stepmother, 1719, and 3 inscriptions in the frieze refer to Dashwood himself, his friend, Doddington, and his uncle, the 7th Earl of Westmoreland. There is also an urn containing the heart of the poet Paul Whitehead. I shall talk about this in a little while. It is claimed the monks of the Hellfire Cave, as they were known, would be scored by Whitehead on their drinking ability, many consuming bottles of port and claret in vast numbers. According to Daniel P. Mank's study, the Hellfire Club, orgies were their pleasure, politics their pastime, 1961. Cocktails with such names as Strip Me Naked, Lay Me Down Softly, and Gin and Sin were also popular. Roast beef would be served under the name Devil's Loins, expertly cut into the shape of large buttocks and served with bread called Holy Ghost Pie. The so-called cellar book detailed all the members' consumption of alcohol for later settlement. Plenty has been written about Sir Francis Dashwood, but very little about Whitehead, who is central to this story. Comments of Whitehead's conversation would be the such of little praise. He was desultory, vociferous, and profane. But Whitehead's health was rapidly deteriorating, which is not surprising given his secret lifestyle. Just after Christmas 1774, Whitehead knew he was dying and spent feverish days burning his life's work, and it is claimed Hellfire Club records, of what Johnson called a refined brothel. In his fire grate at his London lodgings in Henrietta Street, Covent Garden.
Pity. The pots as well. Loads of pots at the top there. All the way around. Maybe funeral urns for some reason. But they've got a pot right in the middle as well, so obviously it has some symbolism. It held something for Dashwood. Or the cherubs. Ah, interesting. Okay. Wow. Very, very interesting. Always wanted to come up here. I went down to the caves, but the caves were closed, so I didn't go to caves. They're closed today. Okay, have a look. No, impressive place. You know, it's wonder what stuff went on there. And when you think about it, like with this, and what it's overlooking, it was very much a statement. You know, it's making a statement on the landscape that, well, it's a temple, isn't it? It's making a statement of whatever was done here, whatever was carried out here, whatever was worshipped here, was they were in awe of, and everyone else should be in awe of it. You know, it's an edifice and a half, isn't it? It's you know, it's something shouting out over the landscape, look, we are here, we're doing this, and we are above all of you guys, you know, in a way. You know, look up to us, you know, reverence. Just heard something. What was that? I just thought interesting place to come. I was passing it and I thought, do you know what? Haven't been. I know the Hellfire Caves themselves are shut, but yeah, never been to the mausoleum at the top. So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna go have a look.
But not all of him was buried. Whereas Paul Whitehead left his heart in West Wickham. Sir Francis Dashwood, now Lord Despencer, as dictated in Whitehead's will, his heart was cut out and dispatched to his lordship as a symbol of heartfelt gratitude, and with a request that it is buried in some corner of his mausoleum in West Wickham.
That golden dome on top almost looks Turkish or Syrian. On the very top of the hill, the most highest point. You know, from Tartarian age, so they believed. You can understand why they thought that these very high, and it looks metallic up there, metallic domes and stuff were used, you know, to charge up the blimps, and I don't think it's beyond imagination that could be. I mean, I think really blimps and airships are a really good way of travelling. I mean, you know, nowadays with tech they don't have to have a flammable gas, surely. But well, that's interesting. That's an old tree. I wonder what you've seen, old boy. Eh?
In contrast to the modest funeral of Whitehead's body at St Mary's Church, Sir Francis Dashwood honoured his steward with a 3-hour funeral of Whitehead's heart, encompassing it in a marble urn carried 3 times around the mausoleum by soldiers of the Bucks militia, while the St Lawrence Church choir sang a hymn especially composed for the solemn occasion, as the urn was placed into its alcove. What critics referred to as a solemn mockery was read aloud to the specially invited guests. And I quote, "From earth to heaven Whitehead's soul is fled. Refulgent glories beam around his head, his muse concording with resounding strings, gives angel words to praise the King of Kings." It was in 1781 that the first supernatural events began to be claimed to continue to this day. Household staff at the West Wickham Park home to an increasingly frail Sir Francis were scared witless on seeing the ghost of Paul Whitehead in the grounds, looking towards the house and beckoning observers to join him. Lady Austin Dashwood's sister wrote to a friend, I quote, "There are few, if any, of his lordship's numerous household who have not seen him, the ghost of Whitehead, sometimes in the park, sometimes in the garden, as well as in the house, by day and night."
So we were over there on the other side of that, and then we went walking down through the woods around the back.
Sir Francis Dashwood died in December that year, and the ghost sightings ended. However, that's not the end of the story. Tourists to the open mausoleum complex were keen to visit the heart of Whitehead, and were even allowed to touch it. So mysterious was its reputation. In 1839, Whitehead's heart was stolen from its urn. It was suspected to have been an Australian soldier taking it as a souvenir. From that time onward, the ghost of Whitehead has been seen many times in both the mausoleum and now the caves, apparently desperately searching for his heart. Tourists to this very day, who know nothing of the Whitehead ghost story, report his sightings on a regular basis.
Sorry, man. Sorry, Dad. All due respects. Sometimes I can't see where you are, you know, where you're buried. But hey, you know, the way I look at it, like I always say, you know, been here a while, I guess you might quite like a, you know, something a bit different. So if I do happen to walk on your grave, it's probably woken you up, giving you that woo feeling. You know, I don't mean any harm by it, but it's just sometimes difficult to know. But you know, if you're here, want to say hello, you can talk into this box. That's fine. You know, it'd be dead interesting. I wonder if they ever conjured anything up. You know, the Hellfire Club. I wonder if they oh, look at that old one. Let's have a look. There's anything down there, but you never know, do you? That's very lovely with the cat. Because you never know what you might see. Just want to say, yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Another video. That's another graveyard one, but interesting place because, you know, the mausoleum, the Darkwoods Mausoleum and the Church of St. Lawrence. Interesting place, you know. We got these places here. It's like I couldn't not stop and have a look, you know. Just incredible. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Wonderful place, really quiet, very high up. Couldn't get into the church, it was shut. Also the mausoleum as well, that's closed. Haven't been to the Hellfire Caves yet. They're closed today, but we'll try and get back for that one. But no, interesting surroundings, interesting place, you know. Has got a vibe to it. It certainly has got a vibe to it. You know, if you see anything on the video, if you catch anything or you think you heard anything, which I haven't, let me know. Might have done. You never know. If you have, then that's great. Send us a timestamp. Other than that, yeah. Till next time. Okay. Bye.